Hey YouTube, it's Petey, and I'm just catching up with you here for posterity's sake. So I had run over to this industrial park where I get scrap wood from the cabinet company. I get foam rubber there. I get paper stock, like nice thick paper. As an example, I get card stock. Sometimes I get even thicker. Like I got some like poster board type stuff that was like double sided, dark green on one side and white on the other. Really nice stuff. And this paper, this is what I've been making notes on for like I don't know 20, 15, 10, 20 years. From one day we went over there and they had a dumpster full of this, as well as bigger than 8 by 11. This like really good paper. And it's the small things in life that I get excited about. Like I like paper. I don't like notebook lined paper. I don't that paper I like. So I went over there and there was a U-Haul parked by a shorty dumpster. So I looked in there like a big huge dumpster. So I looked in there and it was tons of medical stuff. There was syringes, there was pee urine bags if you have a catheter. There was a big box of unopened surgical gloves. There was about 200 of this med honey, which is wound and burn dressing. Now, I operated on I cut ingrown fingernails out of my fingers, which I know you're not supposed to do that, but that's what I've been doing because I can't deal with it. So I did that yesterday, and I used this stuff to dress it. And I got a huge like a case of this 3M tape. I don't know, microfoam tape. This is really good. Like I got a case of it, and then a bunch of like uh, cartons of like gauze type stuff that I'll use for instead of paper towels for like cleaning off residue when I do resale shopping. I remove the price tag with. I like to use this style of razor blade. I'll put some masking tape on it as a grip. So plus there was all kinds of like tubes. Like if you're gonna make a bong, you need a tube to draw on to inhale. Like they had some really nice, like wide, like oval shaped tube made out of like clear, like all kinds of really crazy stuff. So I got a whole bunch of that medical stuff. I went back there today to get more, and there were people there, and they were giving us the stink eye. So I today I went to the a clinic about my foot. I stepped on this toothpick, and it went way, 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 way in between my toes, my little toes, and then that got infected. Now I wasn't sure if there's a. It seems like some of that toothpick broke off and it's still in there, so that's what I need to get taken care of. Because I've been dealing with a real lot of intense foot pain in between my toes. They they looked at it today. It was like right before they were closing, and they just referred me. They didn't even X-ray it. They just referred me to a foot doctor. But that's my life. And again, I don't know. Isn't it a Hippocratic oath? I'm sorry I got there at 6 o'clock and you close at 7. That's the only time I could get there. So yeah, this begins the saga. They gave me some pills to take and some antibiotics. So I'm hoping that the doctor said, oh, there's nothing in there. It's just infected. That's why it hurts that bad. I think there's something in there. So this is one of the things why I've been a little bit on edge lately, a little bit extra testy. Besides, like inviting people to come hear us play, and then people turn me down. I've been turned down by a few people. I'm like, come over, we'll have dinner for you, we'll play this set, and it's like people just don't care. So the mixer came yesterday. At first, it seemed like something was up. I tore it apart, put it back together. It works fine. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that. The third bus, the effects weren't seeming to work. I don't know. I hopefully it was just a loose connection, and when I put it all back together, that fixed that. But it's nice, and we cleaned up the area. So I'm playing this set. I'm using this. I'm using this yellow one. I'm using this guitar that was gifted to me by my dear old pal, Pinkster, Pink Jimmy Photon. And I have to put this proper strap on here. The Lakato strap. And then I do have another strap coming. I ordered another strap, so we got to see how this is going to work out. I will probably end up putting that strap on this guitar, and then I'll put maybe this one on the Ibanez. I don't know. I gotta see how I like this. So this is the semi hollow body. Really kind of a good looking guitar. I got some wood looking wood knobs coming for this guitar instead of these black plastic ones. So this set, it's guitar instrumental music. So we're playing covers, and it's a lot of fun. We're actually about to turn this stuff on and play right now. Here's the other one. This one, it had 10s on it. I switched it to 9s and took it in. And then when I took delivery on it, it was like, and took it back. And then I tried playing it, and it was buzzing up. There was fret buzz on two of the strings. So I took it back and got it a lot better than it was. I'm still not really thrilled. I may end up having to put 10s back on here. But I replaced these pickups in this guitar. As a matter of fact, I think all three of the guitars that we're looking at here have the pickups replaced. So this one, this is probably Alnico. Like Fleor Alnicos, and same thing with the yellow. I think they're the same pickups. I'm going to be changing out the knobs on this. I got some brass Strat knobs coming that I think might look better. But yeah, we're just about ready to turn this stuff on and play our set. Somebody had made a comment, and I had said I really don't like that. I really don't like that that phrase. And I wasn't upset at the guy who made it. He got up. He took offense at it, and like he was like he doesn't like being around people that are real sensitive and can't take it when somebody makes a joke at them. I wasn't pissed at the guy at all. I just said I don't like that phrase. He said, would you like some cheese with that wine? And it was like, I admitted I was complaining in the video. But, you know, and honestly, I said in the next video that I made, if I'm going to complain, let me complain. And what I meant by that is sometimes I need to blow off steam like that. I need to. And I realize, okay, it's YouTube. You're not supposed to come on here and talk about personal stuff or stuff that may bring you down. But this channel it's nobody watches it. I do this stuff just for me, you know. So I use it like that. I use it to blow off steam. If I'm frustrated about something, I watched a video. Somebody said, "Oh, you made a mistake," and then I went and looked, and there was like 3 or 4 videos I had done on this topic, and I really clearly explained exactly what he said the mistake was. That happened this morning. And again, no offense to that guy. The video, like I said, there was three like 20-minute videos of me going on and on. And in one of those videos, I went off on a tangent for like 2 minutes. And I was talking about one of my pet peeves is if you go on social media and people post pictures of Frank Zappa when he had cancer, when he looked like he was dying. Also, people that are fans of Syd Barrett, when they posted pictures of Syd when he did not want to be photographed when he was in his 50s and 60s. He had been out of the music business for 30 years, and people would go and knock on his door and have a guy hiding in the bushes and take a picture. And then people would post that and write like "shine on" or something like, and so clearly did Syd not want to be bothered, and why you would, like, there's so many pictures of Syd when he was beautiful. Why you would get one when he was fat and bald and post that? So that's the type of stuff that I love. That video that I clicked on that I watched today, me talking about the operational amplifiers and the headphone amp and the voltage regulator that they put in there, like that, none of that is, I didn't get anything out of that. The part where I went off on this tangent, that was really entertaining for me. So again, this is where it gets complicated, and I ask people to, if you are a fan of this channel and you do watch these videos, please understand. I, you know, if I don't feel like I can come on here and be honest and say this guy left this comment and I don't like that comment, it's no longer my YouTube channel. It's that guy is in charge of it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. So I feel terrible that this guy got upset because I reacted to he was just joking. You know, he was just making a joke. And I think the takeaway here for that guy would be, well, I didn't release last year's Imaginary album and name it Thin Skinned because I'm easy to rib with and joke. I'm thin fucking skinned. And if you're going to come on my comment section and say something like, would you like some wine with that cheese, when I'm unloading, what is it? It's cheese with that wine? When I'm unloading because I got ripped off on a deal, and then when I called the people out and made a video, they flipped out and the guy was calling me names and attacking me. That took a month. I had another deal where didn't get satisfactory goods and services for money rendered, and I had to deal with that. Then I got a thing inside my body. I got a foreign object inside my body that I don't know when that's going to get removed. Now, if you know, I had a capacitor end in my foot for a year, and it hurt. It was a metal sliver, a piece, if you cut off a thing. So I've been down this road with the weird slivers in your foot and having them surgically removed, and it sucks. It sucks. It's a bunch of trips to the doctor. You have to go for an x-ray, and I don't want to have to do any of that. I don't have a car. My wife works full time to, so I can eat. So she's got to like take the whole thing sucks. Being at the whim of another human being is not how we're designed. You're not supposed to have anybody over you. So me having to worry about, am I going to get a good doctor? Is the doctor going to take care of me, do the right thing? That's not how I'm supposed to live. So honestly, yeah, I am under some stress lately. I do have a lot going on. It's unbelievably hot and humid here in Chicago. That doesn't help. And then having somebody who I consider my friend make a joke, which I said I don't like that. I hate when people say that. That's what I said in the video. I didn't go off on the guy. I didn't respond negatively to it. That's an expression that I would never use. Okay? Number one, I would never say that. Number two, why wouldn't I say that? Well, because I know that we're human beings, and sometimes you need another human being to serve as a soundboard to vent, to let off some steam, and that's kind of what I was doing. I get on here and I dump down what's going on in my life. And again, it's my little YouTube channel, and I don't really answer to anybody, you know. And yeah, I am thin skinned. I don't go in other people's comment sections and take shots at them or joke with them. I don't. I'm really weird about trying to take the high road when I'm online and trying to be supportive and trying to be positive. That's why, if you look at the comments that I left on this guy's YouTube channel, I never took a shot at him. I never made a joke. I did, however, constantly build him up and compliment him. So that's just something I just need to get that off of my chest. I mean, we're all different. We all make mistakes. We're infallible. We're human. You know, he like got really upset about it, and he told me he wanted me to go through my channel and remove any video that mentions him. Now that is going to require some time and some effort, which right now I'm not game for that. I'm not. This channel gets like maybe 30 views per video, and the videos don't get repeat viewing, so that's kind of a little bit unrealistic to think that would, number one, matter, or two, that I would have that I would want to do that for someone who took a shot at me and then got really upset because I said I don't like when people say that saying. I didn't take a shot at the guy back. I didn't. I just said I hate when people say that. And this is my YouTube channel. If I want to complain on it, that's what I'm going to do. And I do. I do complain on my YouTube channel. If there's something that's bugging me, or I have something weighing on me, I talk about it on here, because that helps me to get through it and minimize the bullshit that we have to go through. And speaking of bullshit, this dude got a hold of me. I used to work with this guy, and he was like, he wanted to get together, and it was really hard nailing down a date. And then so I said, well, I'll tell you what, enjoy your summer, because I'm like, this guy doesn't want to come. I don't know why he like invited himself over and then wouldn't want to come, which the same thing happened with another guy. Another guy said to me the last time I saw him, he said, well, one time he said, I want to come to your place and hang out with you and your old lady. Another time he said, I want to come hear you guys play. So I send him an invite with a map on how to get to our house, and he says, I don't have time. I said, it's a 35-minute set. You can come whenever you want. This is just an open invitation. And instead of saying, it's bad time now, but I would like to come, it was, I'm too busy. So this other guy, all of a sudden, when I finally said, because this has been going on for 6 months, finally said, enjoy your summer. He comes back and says, I'm coming Friday. Now, Thursday, I have some huge thing going on, which we kind of found out about last minute. We're not real thrilled about it. There's some lot involved. So that means I got to do a bunch of prep. My wife has to do work tomorrow. And then she was like, well, what we were planning on doing, we were going to smoke a rack of ribs. And then, she cuts those up. She does the dry rub. We put them in the smoker. And then we'll eat that for like a week. We'll have the deep fryer. We'll hook some fries, have a little corn with it. She makes this homemade coleslaw, and it's like a feast. It's unbelievably good. It's so good, this meal. And I was like, that's what I want to make when we have this guy over, because we've served this for guests before, and they've always gone fucking gaga for our rib dinners. It's really good. It's hard to screw up too. Dry rub in a smoker. It's like pretty foolproof. So my wife says, we're in the car on the way to the immediate care center. And she says, well, the oven doesn't work. I said, why does the oven not work? The burner went out. I said, didn't you just replace that burner? Well, I did 2 years ago. Now, we've got a thing with our burner, the bottom burner failing like incessantly. Like those burners used to last like 10, 15 years. Now they last like a year or two. And I know it's our fault for having cheese pizza, the cheese drips on it, and you don't clean it off and then it causes a thing. So anyway, we went in there. I said, let's take a look because that burner, you just replaced it. And like,
And I had said there didn't look like there was any area
yeah,
where
Gopti
it
said
broke.
there's nothing funky with the burner. So she's doing, this is something I would normally do, but you have to crawl into the oven. It's like
there's a
Hansel and
door
Gretel
up
style
there,
repair.
yeah.
So with my bad back, the last time this happened, she handled the whole thing. She ordered it. She comes in with a pizza box, but she's not carrying it like this. She's carrying it like, oh, what are you doing with that pizza? And she said it's the
Baking unit. Or
it's
heating
a
element.
wire heating element unit. So it's two screws that it's actually, if you use a nut driver, it's a 1/4 inch drive. So you go in there with this nut driver, you pull these two little short screws, they're maybe 8 turns, they come out, and then you pull the thing out and there's 2 clips. You pull the clips off, put the clips back on, put the unit in, put the screws back in. I'm like, hallelujah. Thank you so much, Gopti. You did such a great job with that repair. I'm so lucky to have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. No, she did it. She handled it. So this time we go in there.
Well, I open it up and I'm like, oh, one of them's not connected. The wire.
I said, let's get the nut driver and pull it out of there and see what's going on. She says it's not connected. Now, this connection had gone bad, and I had spliced wire in. I had spliced wire with new connectors because the connectors had gone bad. This connector had fouled itself, and the wire was all like charred out. Like the wire got hot at the connection point because it wasn't a good connection. And the connector like welded itself to the new thing. So after 10 minutes of prying on the connector, it comes around like this. It's like metal and it comes around like that. Prying all 4 of those up and then pushing the button down, there's a tab that comes down. Prying the tab up, it still wouldn't come off. And we're like, I'm tapping, like she's holding the thing and I'm like tapping the screwdriver and got a wire brush. So we finally got that thing, ripped it off of there. And then it's like, well, the insulation on the wire is all dark brown. It's all like there was heat because there was a load at that point. So we went through my connector bag and I had some real heavy duty wire for automotive with those connectors on there, already crimped on. So we cut both of the wires, the bad sections off, tinned it, and then had our own wires real thicker than what was in the stove in the oven, the stuffing, and then stripped that, tinned it with solder, and then did the same thing in the inside. Then we had alligator, like a base, like a board, an L-shaped board with giant alligator clips in it, and so you can, it's 2 alligator clips and then there's 2 drywall screws sticking out, like 3 inches. So you can clip wires on there and they'll rest on the nail on the screws, and then they can sit next to each other, be touching each other, so you can solder them like helping hands. It's homemade helping hands set, and it's a little different because it's on the same plane. There's 2 giant clips and then 2 screws, so you can have something to hold the wire and then they have something to rest on. Something that I made. So we got that thing down in there, and then I'm like,
But the wire coming out of the oven is like what?
It's
2,
short.
2 inches.
It's
not
like
even, yeah.
2 inches of insulation and 1 inch of wire. So I said, all right, I'm going to get this like thin gauge speaker wire. We'll twist it and we'll tin it. So it's kind of like not wire, but it's got lead on it. So then what you'll do, you'll have them together and then you'll wire wrap it and twist it. Do that 3 times. So there's 1 in the middle, 1 on each side, holding these 2 wires together. Then you put the solder on it. And then you clip off the ends. So that's how we ended up doing it. It was not a fun job. We had a big box fan going to blow air because we're dumping huge amounts of solder, and we're in. She had her head in the oven, and the smoke's billowing up in there. So we did the best we could. We put double heat shrink insulation over both of the splice points, and I think that's going to be good for a few years. If there's a problem with that, if that fails again, I'm going to have to figure out what type of wire is the proper. I mean, it was thinner wire that was on the oven than what we use today. So I think this repair that we did today is going to be good. I think it's going to be good. And I don't think we're going to have a load point where the wire breaks from the small wire to the larger, because we didn't. We stripped on the one, it was like 2.5 inches, and the other one was 1.5 inches. That was a good amount. And they were really soldered together well. So all that stuff that's like AC, like I don't know, are you supposed to use a wire nut on that and you're not supposed to solder? I really don't know. I do know that I cut the nylon. There was bushings that like insulative bushings that go over the ends of the connectors. I cut all that off of there because of the heat. I didn't want that plastic melting. So that's what we took care of today. Like I said, we went back to that medical dumpster to get. I was hoping to get more of those surgical gloves and just more of that stuff, because there was a lot in there. There was these like Pakistani or Indian looking guys, and they looked right at. There was one guy, like in the U-Haul, and he was like, and then he said something to the other guy. And the other guy looked at us. They were all like glaring at us. So we didn't end up getting any more of that, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. And if that guy, for some reason, that guy who got upset with me, I don't imagine he'd be watching this, because he was like basically like so long. It seemed like he was telling me he didn't want to be friends with me anymore because I said I don't like when people say that. I honestly didn't take that as a cheap shot or as a personal thing. I got that you were just joking, because I said in the video that I was complaining. I didn't take offense at it. It was just a point of conversation that would you like some cheese with that wine? That's a saying that I've heard before. People have said that to me before. One time someone said that to me, and I didn't. I was like, what? I remember not. And then they repeated it, and I was just thinking, like, that's the smart ass thing to say to someone when that's like kicking somebody when they're down. You know what I mean? That's just something I would never say that to another human being. I don't care how close or how friends I am. When people complain, it's a serviceable thing. It's like you're blowing off steam. You need to vent because you've had it up to here. And that's kind of what I was doing in that video. So I can't apologize for something I didn't do. I didn't get mad at the guy personally. I didn't think, wow, what an asshole. I just don't like that phrase, and I feel I should be able to do that on this channel. If I want to come on here and complain, nobody watches it anyway. I'm not a big YouTuber. It's like I maybe get 30 views per, and I don't have any idea who those people are who are watching it. But if you're out there and you're watching this video, thank you for watching. Again, a video like this is helpful for me, because now I have a record of today was the date. Now I know I can look back and I can say, well, this happened 4 or 5 days before I went to that clinic. So it's helpful for me to keep records through my YouTube channel and my Facebook. I do stuff like that. I'll have these cryptic posts and people are like, what? And then I gotta I feel the need to explain it to people, So anyway, I hope you are doing well. I hope you don't feel unbelievably overwhelmed and scared about a medical condition, something that could turn into a much more serious thing, staph infection. There's all kind, and this is infected. It's infected. So I hope you're well. I hope that you're calm, that you don't feel overwhelmed or scared or like you're going to have to depend on someone else for your health and well-being. And I hope that you hug your pets. Take care, you guys. Try to stay cool. I'll talk to you soon. Send me some good vibes.